what's up, guys? This is Miles with Team Woven. You already know who it is. Just kidding, you don't, because I haven't topped shit. But yeah, just got back from this regional in San Diego on Saturday, and I got top 8, so I got 7th place, and we'll just do a deck profile of it. I'll explain some of the cards, because most of the build's standard, but some of it's different. So to start off, the deck is a Metalfoes deck, so I just played all of them. No need to really explain any of them. This is the only one that somebody could run 2 of, but I just like it at 3. It's the only one I search like all the time because it's the best one. Because it's not a vanilla, it's an effect monster. The Magispector engine. This is pretty staple. This is staple. It's like the same ratio, 3-in-1 and 3-in-1. This guy's okay. Some builds don't run him anymore, but I still think he's really good game 1. But games 2 and 3, a lot of decks are just trying to stop Metalfoes from playing the deck. So I just side this out. It's an easy side out card, and then it can be a consistency card game 1 that like isn't really gonna get stopped. And then same with same with Archfiend Eccentric. It's just a good card game 1 because it outs a lot of things. And then games 2 and 3, it's not gonna out anti-spell or like certain cards, but it can out like monster floodgates like Darklaw. So it's kind of a judgment call depending on the matchup whether you want to play 2 or 3 of these in games 2 and 3. But it's another like easy side out card to play. The hand traps 2 maxi because it's the best card in the game. And then 2 Ghost Ogres. And then the last monster was a Rescue Rabbit. So this card doesn't need explaining. It's the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! I always play it. It doesn't matter going first or second. It's in the deck. Because going first, this is still a trap. Like, instead of setting vanities, you basically just have it in your hand. And this card, I never tested this before. I just tried it for the event, and it was really good. It just helps you out. Like, it just helps you. It's another play in the deck besides your Pendulum Summon, which is kind of what you need going second or in games 2 and 3. And it's also an out to anti-spell, so it's nice. And I didn't play Gofu or the Cyber Dragon, like the Klee engine, just because it dead draws sometimes. And then if you go second, the Klee engine's bad. Because everyone in their deck profile says, oh, if I go second with Klee engine, I side it out. And it's like, this card's good going second because it's a hand trap. So you can stop your opponent's plays so they can't set up a board. And then going first, you can just keep it in your hand, or you can use it as a tuner because you could Pendulum Summon this and make synchro plays with it. So it's still nice. And then going second, if your opponent doesn't force this out and you draw into it or something, you can make synchros to help out boards. And that's it for the monsters. It's like 20-something monsters or whatever. The spells, just consistency cards. This deck's 40 cards, so the math is that I was debating playing 1 Summoner's Art and then 1 Upstart Goblin, but you have more odds of opening a Metalfoe if you play 2 Summoner's Arts in a 40 card deck, because it comes out to like 19 Metalfoes monsters with the painful decisions. And you have higher odds with this over Upstart Goblin, so that's why I ran 2 of this. And I never dead draw this because of like only playing 3 Vol Flames. It's just, and this is also another easy side out card. And that's what I wanted, is easy side out cards, so I didn't have to think as much. This card sucks, but because of this, cancels it out all the time. And then the only other like random spell is this. This can get Bismugear. It helps you unbrick because you can get out Bismugear and then use Metalfoe effects to pop the Bismugear, and then you get a set like a Quick Play Fusion, and then you get a Search a Scale, or you can get out Ghost Ogre to like make synchro plays with, or you can make rank 3s to out things like anti-spell because this is chainable. So that's what makes this card really good. There's really no reason not to play this card. And then if you really want to, it's an easy side out card as well. But yeah, that's Itelli's good. Same philosophy as Rescue Rabbit. And then these don't need explaining. Just 1 of each because they're whatever, and then just a God card because Obelisk is to whatever. Alright, extra deck. This is pretty standard, but my main deck is pretty standard. But this is like kind of where diversity comes in. But not these two cards. These generic as shit. But Castell is just good. Because I played Rescue Rabbit, I wanted just a rank 4 to play, so that's the rank 4. And then this card is just the best rank 3 that's generic, so I just played this. And you can have combos with combination. You could also have Chris filming you while you're filming, so you look like a moron. The level 6 synchros I played were these two. Coral Dragon's really good because he's also a tuner. So you can make Ignister with like 2 level 3, the Ghost Ogre, a level 3 and a level 2. So what you do is you use the level 3s, you make this, and then use as effect, discard, pop a card. Like you can discard Fusion or Counter, pop a card on the field. And then with the level 2, you synchro for Ignister, you draw a card off of this, and then you have Ignister. So then it's really good. This guy, if you don't know what this does, it's like if you use a Pendulum monster, it's basically Snatch Steal. So, or it's basically like Big Eye. And then if you used a Pendulum effect monster, it's Snatch Steal, and you could turn off a face-up card. So you can turn off like Anti-Spell. So, but usually I made this. There's times where I could have made this in the event, but I just didn't because Coral Dragon was better at the time. And then the only level 7 I played was Black Rose because it's the best looking card in the game. Never summoned it, but you can. And then Ignister was the only level 8. Sometimes I wanted other level 8s, but it's not. This guy is just, I don't know, he comes up every once in a while. And then I played 2 level 9s. I played 1 Vermilion just because you could have combos with it. And the only way you can make this is with Ghost Ogre and Mithrilium. And if you do that, you get Mithrilium floats into something else. You use his effect, you banish the Ghost Ogre to pop something, and then you could like attack for damage. And then after that, you can use the scale effect to blow him up, and then put the Ghost Ogre back into your hand, which is like really good because then you used Ghost Ogre for synchro plays, and then you have it for your opponent's turn as a hand trap, and then they know it's there, but sometimes you just can't play around it. And the last one was Trish, just because I have an ulti. That's the only reason. But I summoned it twice, banished Karen. It's a good card.
What language is that?
This is Italian. I only like to play cards I can't read, because then if my opponent asks me what do they do, I can just lie. And then
Free wins.
free wins. Free wins. That's what we're trying to get here. One of this guy hardly ever summoned it. This guy, he's whatever. 3 of this. This is the only change I would make about the extra deck. You just don't need 3 of this card. You can use combination to revive this guy if you summon an Orishok. So I would cut this to 2 and play the 3k guy because there was like 2 or 3 times I wanted to summon Crimsonite is the level 9 fusion. And I couldn't because I wasn't playing it and I was playing 3 of this and I never summoned the 3rd one, so not needed. And then 2 Orishok. I guess I could cut this to 1 and then play the 3k guy, but I wanted 2 just because he has effects and he's not a vanilla. That pretty much does it for that. And then the side deck, 2 Jinzos. I bought these in line, so I'd never tested with them before, but it won me a couple games. Actually, no, it only won me 1 game. I lied. Because it was against a Barrier Stun deck, and he had the Earth statue, so you can only special summon Earths. And I completed a scale and I had Rescue Rabbit, so I Pendulum summoned the Rescue Rabbit and then tributed it for Jinzo, and then he just shook my hand because the game was over. So that's kind of troll, you know. The 3rd Ghost Ogre for going 2nd, it wasn't needed. This could have been something else. This engine, like was not good, but I wanted to have some spice. So the theory with these cards is Tour Guide can get Archfiend Eccentrics out of the deck that you can either fuse with or blow up, and then you basically search it out and put it in your extra deck. Or you can make a rank 3 like Break Sword to pop things. Or you can, if you side in Tour Guide and Archfiend Eris, you can summon the Eris off Tour Guide, use a Metalfoes effect, pop this, set a combination, and then off of this you search Eccentric, and you can Eccentric pop your combination to complete your scale. And then you have like this, you still have a Tour Guide on board to like you can pop it, or it's strike, like Solemn Strike bait or like Solemn Warning bait that your opponent kind of has to use on, because if they see Tour Guide, they'll use any negation they have. And then the spells, Raigeki, because I don't know, I wanted to like, I told my opponent it was Dark Hole, but they didn't believe me. 3 MSTs, because I didn't main board it because it's just not needed in the main board. You can play around back row that anybody's main decking, and if you're bad like me, you'll lose every die roll, but you still don't need MST because people suck. And then it was 3 Typhoon, but I had to give him back because my friend Eric's borrowing mine, and he's a scumbag and just never gives them back to me.
Love you, Eric.
Love you, Eric. Yeah, that's right. And then 2 D-Barriers because that card's pretty decent, and then Solemn Warning because it's at 1, so it's supposed to be really good, but I never drew it, so I don't know about it. But it's at 1, so that's the thought that counts. All right, guys, that's the deck profile. It's pretty standard. I mean, the only spice is probably the extra deck. Playing Ghost Ogre instead of Gofu. The reason I didn't play Gofu was because you can dead draw Gofu in the middle of the game, and when you think about the numbers in terms of Metalfoes, you're actually drawing more cards in the middle of the game. If it's a 3-turn game, you're actually drawing more cards than you open with. And that means the odds of you seeing a Gofu is more likely to be in the middle of the game rather than you actually opening up with the card. Because if you draw 3 cards for your turns, and then you resolve Metalfoe Fusion once every turn, that's 6 cards that you're drawing, and that's not including the Pot of Desires or like drawing off of Corral Dragon or anything like that. And then your deck is thinner, so you have higher odds of seeing Ghost Ogre in the middle of the game than you would or seeing Ghost Ogre or Gofu in the middle of the game. And I didn't want to just dead draw a Gofu. I'd rather just have a Ghost Ogre that was good turn 1 because it could stop my opponent's plays, or that you can just Pendulum Summon. So yeah, that's the only thing that I guess needs explaining. The rest of the deck's pretty standard. Yeah, it's not much to explain. All right, this is Miles with Team Woven signing out.